Ancient civilizations vanishing in ways hidden history never explained. Portals busting open, vortex locations people only whisper about. These same patterns from a forgotten world called to us from the depths. Oh my God. What in the world? Look at its Halo cosplay armor this alien is wearing. You gotta be kidding me, man. If I seen this outside, I'd be like, where's your trick or treat bag?
But you know what? I got this particular shot of inside the basilica, and then I was able to get this particular shot here of all the papal names of those that are buried in the Vatican. But at the same time, even my son, he looks over to this particular image and he said, "What is that?" And I'm here to tell you, that's the devil, y'all. All right, right under the name of all the popes that are buried at the Vatican, you have this wicked, devilish looking image, which I would imagine is the devil himself with these snakes around his head. It's not like Medusa that has snakes for hair. He has long hair, but snakes around him. So I would imagine that's the devil.
If I told you that didn't look like a demon, I would be lying. But it's also giving me Medusa vibes because it looks like there's like snakes around it. Tell me what you think about this. What is this doing at this ancient building?
The Vatican didn't just ignore Lucifer's final warning. They buried it. They say beneath the Vatican sits a black iron coffin carved with the markings of the Ars Goetia, keeping Lucifer restrained by 7 chains. But 4 have already snapped. The Vatican sent 1 priest into the vault.
How do they know 4 snapped already?
Not to open the coffin, but to record whatever was speaking from inside it. The voice said, "Novaris hoc, sacerdos." You know this, priest. When the final chain fails, it's not just me who is released, and what rises after is the world as it was always meant to be. And when that last chain breaks, humanity will finally learn the truth. This world never belonged to us. It belonged to him.
Exactly what type of horror story do they got going on under the Vatican?
I hope it's getting on the camera. I can't even see the screen. Oh my God! What in the hell? This is bizarre. You see that?
I mean, it's spiritual warfare against these demons. I'll be keeping my Bible close.
That's why they're removing copper pennies. Because every time you hold a copper penny, the healing frequencies and charge of the copper is transferred to your electric body. Which is why in the 1800s, everybody could be seen wearing copper jewelry. Because they knew that the unique frequencies of the copper was able to positively interfere with their biofield. But also, if you take a copper penny or a piece of copper and you place it in water, the copper will not only purify the water to a level that no other material can match, but the copper will also create electrically conductive water. And so if you were to then drink the water that the copper is rested in, it would instantaneously individual.
Maybe that's why people recommend using copper cups. There has to be an experiment that can officially show what really goes on when you put copper in water.
This is another reason why if you look back into the 1800s, you will see every water fountain was made from copper. They would have thousands of these fountains all over the world, which people could then drink from freely because they knew that the copper was not only purifying the water and keeping the water clean, but the conductivity of the copper was actually interfering with the water, creating some of the most powerful water one can drink. So if you've ever wondered why they tell you not to drink from copper, it's because they found something out about copper they don't want you to know about.
Damn, it makes you think about copper pipes. When you find really nice houses, they'll have copper pipes inside. Very fascinating and interesting. And you can't forget about the giant copper door handles on the old buildings as well. That have something to do with the microbials? Sound frequency theory.
There's something that happens in the realm of consciousness as a result of music. In other words, it is more than just something pretty or something exciting. It actually changes the brain and can cause a deep change in the corpus callosum, which is the bridge connecting the left and right hemisphere. We combine music with silence. When they asked the Buddha, what's the easiest way for a person to get to nirvana? Buddha said, sound. Music is processed in more regions of the brain than we ever imagined. Music is a great example of how different parts of the brain can act together. Music can have a profound, even physical effect on the brain.
Don't be surprised if you guys see me show up on here with those pan drums out in the rain.
Even physical effect on the brain. Music may actually affect brain size. When he compared the brain scans of 30 musicians with those of 30 non-musicians, he found a corpus callosum cable that neurons connecting the brain's left and right hemisphere, the bridge from the left to the right. And keep in mind, you are desperately trying to get from the left to the right. And he found that the corpus callosum, that bridge connecting the left and the right, were larger among musicians.
You know, people used to say when I was in school, they was like, are you left-brained or right-brained? How about we activate both?
When the patients played musicians, when the patients played drums or sang along with their songs, their serum melatonin levels skyrocket. So according to the scientists, there is something that happens in the realm of consciousness as a result of music. In other words, it is more than just something pretty or something exciting. It actually changes the brain and can cause a deep change in the corpus callosum, which is the bridge connecting the left and right hemisphere. There is something that happens.
Music is extremely important. You got to think about every single major movie that has high ratings. Star Wars, music went crazy. Interstellar, music went crazy. Lord of the Rings, music went crazy. You know, the list goes on. Which movie do you think had the best soundtrack? Tron? Tron went crazy. Alright, now he says he has some remnants of our Tartarian tech straight from Tartary. What's it called? One of those scopes you look in? Kaleidoscope? But it looks like a ancient kaleidoscope that was probably passed down in this family. How interesting is that?
Mud flood evidence for that. Mud flood evidence for that.
That building does look like a castle. I'll be lying to you guys if I drove past these structures and I'm in my head I'm thinking like, hey, there's something they're not telling us. What type of history did they erase? They don't want you to know the truth about these Tartarian structures. Look at how he's got help. He's got more than one person, but the question is what does this thing generate? What is the purpose of this? It looks like some type of giant generator. Alright, we got an ultrasonic experiment. Interesting. We got all this different technology out and we still don't got no hoverboards yet. Like Back to the Future. Who knows, if they hit the right energy and frequency, they might be able to bust open a portal. I'm trying to figure out how this could benefit humanity. Something like this. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
Why do chosen ones get so heavily targeted by darkness here on Earth? Dark forces wish for the chosen one to go off their path. Let me explain this. Chosen ones, also called star seeds, are souls from higher dimensions purely incarnated on Earth for a mission. Earth is a super lost planet where souls do not wake up and keep being distracted by the matrix system lifetime after lifetime. Chosen ones are on a mission of awakening, raising their light energy, and ascending themselves from within. This helps Earth and humanity energetically, hence why these souls were needed at this time. This is also why the chosen one keep getting guided away from the matrix. But their ego human mind do not understand this and usually fight the process. Earth is a planet full of negative entities and dark forces. They see chosen ones as a threat to the matrix and target their lives in several ways. As a chosen one, have you felt targeted by the dark?
You already know, the Bible tells us this is spiritual warfare. If you look at the story of Jesus Christ, he was considered to me the perfect prototype, the perfect man. that battled all this. If you thought I wasn't going to hit you with another excellent specimen of the day, think again. Hi, using. Alright guys, this definitely looks like a tourmaline. Massive specimen. Man, whoever owns this is lucky. You're gonna definitely want a couple bands for this. Man, the end of it looks kind of crazy. But you know, that's more along the lines of a pedestal for it. The rating I'm gonna give this, I like it a lot, man. I'm gonna give this a 9.5. I know, right? It's higher than, you know, your normal specimens. I'll give it a 9.5. And let's name this specimen the Strawberry Skyscraper. That's my name. 9.5 Strawberry Skyscraper. Drop your rating and the name below in the comments. I can't wait to hear them.
Now this is Kauai. Hawaii Dragon Eruption Episode 41. This is the real Hawaii. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. This is the Maui Dragon. You will be able to see its skin clearly with the zoom in. Pinch the screen and zoom in more if you like. Now this is Kauai. Part 2 will be the incredible Big Island. Undeniably, a dead dragon formed the island.
Oh, I kind of see the claw right here. Almost like it's got its middle finger right there. And look, with the outline off, it kind of looks like a claw here. Some type of formation is going on here. It's almost like it was two eye sockets. You see it? An eye socket right there, and another one right here maybe? But this is definitely giving claw vibes. Might have been multiple Titan creatures.
Remember, part 2 is the Big Island of Hawaii.
Imagine walking into a dark, suffocating tunnel carved straight into the bedrock of the Egyptian desert. You turn a corner, and sitting inside an alcove is a perfectly polished jet black box. It is massive. It weighs 100 tons. The lid alone weighs 30 tons. And there isn't just one, there are 24 of them. Welcome to the Serapeum of Saqqara, the place where mainstream Egyptology falls completely apart. We are told the ancient Egyptians built these as tombs for the sacred Apis bulls, using nothing but copper chisels and pounding stones. But if you bring modern structural engineers into these tunnels with laser measuring tools, they will tell you a very different story.
You know, as a kid, I always loved watching these ancient history documentaries. We need to have like a group meetup at that Egyptian museum, don't we?
They will tell you that whoever built these boxes possessed a level of machining technology that we only invented in the last century.
I would really do it.
Let's look at the stone itself. This is Aswan granite and diorite, some of the hardest rock on the surface of the earth. To cut it today, we use diamond-tipped saw blades. Yet the insides of these 100-ton boxes are perfectly smooth. They are polished to a mirror finish. But it is the geometry that makes them impossible.
Some people theorize that they were a battery reservoir, that they put water in there and this was just a giant battery, because they're going to try and tell you it was a bull casket, I believe.
Interior corners of these massive boxes meet at exact 90-degree angles. The surfaces are perfectly flat to within a fraction of a millimeter. To achieve this inside a hollowed-out block of granite, you cannot use hand tools. There is no room to swing a hammer. You would need a multi-axis mechanized drill. And remember, these aren't sitting out in the open. They were maneuvered into incredibly tight underground alcoves with just inches of clearance on either side.
Which makes me think they had some type of frequency levitation, like on the previous video we just got done watching. Maybe they had that for pallets. You know how you gotta crank up a pallet if you ever worked in a factory, you know? But what if they just had something that they just played? Ooh, what if they played some type of music or something to make it float? You know, this it makes you wonder, what type of levitation frequency technology did they have to carve this stuff and move it?
But here is the ultimate proof that the mainstream story is wrong. In 1850, a French Egyptologist named Auguste Mariette discovered the Serapeum. Most of the boxes had been looted thousands of years ago. However, he found one massive box that was still perfectly sealed with its 30-ton lid. It had remained undisturbed since the day it was closed. He used dynamite to blow it open, expecting to find the grand mummy of an apis bull covered in gold.
They always quick to blow something up, ain't they? Why?
What did he find inside this perfectly sealed, vacuum-tight, 100% ton marvel of engineering? Nothing. It was completely empty. No bull, no mummy, no treasure. The boxes weren't tombs. So what were they? Some engineers suggest that granite, which is rich in quartz crystal, was used to harness acoustic energy or store electromagnetic power.
How interesting is that? You could see through it.
Were these dark underground tunnels acting as a giant circuit board for an ancient power grid? We may never know. But one thing is certain, they were not built with copper chisels. The Serapeum is a smoking gun of lost ancient technology, a machine left behind in the dark. But next week we travel to the high Andes of South America, to a site where the stones are cut so sharply they look like they were machined yesterday.
That's just more erased history and hidden history that they're just going to slowly feed us. We want the whole story. That's why we're on these waters diving deep. If you love this content just as much as me, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you're new around here. And let's get right back into these waters. Frequency healing. Getting charged up by that frequency. Electric beings for real.
There's a very peculiar thing that happens to people who have undergone what we might call a spiritual awakening. They find that crowds, gatherings of people, what we would ordinarily think of as perfectly normal social situations, become extraordinarily difficult to navigate. And I don't mean difficult in the sense of social anxiety or shyness, though it might appear that way from the outside. I mean something far more subtle and far more profound. When you wake up, when you see through the game that most people are playing, when you recognize that the emperor has no clothes, you begin to experience crowds in an entirely different way. It's rather like being the only sober person at a party where everyone else is intoxicated. You can see what's happening with a clarity that's almost painful.
Like you babysitting damn near.
While everyone around you is completely absorbed in the drama, completely identified with the performance. Let me describe what this actually feels like, because it's quite remarkable. When a spiritually awake person enters a crowd, the first thing they notice is the noise. And I don't mean just the physical noise, though that's certainly part of it. I mean the psychological noise, the energetic noise, the noise of 1,000 different egos, all clamoring for attention, all trying to assert themselves, all desperately attempting to be seen, to be heard, to matter. It's like walking into a room full of radios, each tuned to a different station, all playing at maximum volume, and the awake person can hear all of it simultaneously.
It's too much. It kind of reminds you of that scene on Superman when he was first getting his powers and he had his head down. It was too much. It's a curse at the same time. Something straight out the Tartarian vault. A Tartarian book discovered deep beneath the ocean. Oh yeah, let's see it. Save the best for last. What in the world? Looks like a leg. Why does this kind of look familiar? What is the writing? I've never seen that type of writing before. Almost like they're trying to do some alchemy or something, you know? Messing with DNA strands. You guys already know what to do. If you made it this far, go ahead and drop the code word. Today's code word is portal. Go ahead and drop portal in the comments below. When you do that, that shows me you a real one. You made it all the way through this video. Man, the spiritual warfare, Tartaria, and pyramids connected to a forgotten world. These are the type of mysterious TikToks that'll make you question everything. I'm Jet Ski Chuck. Till next time.